Simpson. And Japan have gone absolutely without lead. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ball Chat Podcast. Welcome to the weekend roundup football show. I am Benton. Brethren, Junior, how you doing, family? We meet again.
Well, I'm good enough. I'm good.
El Pistolier running early. El Pistolier, so please start with the Manchester derby. Do we... Can we get this out of the way? We have to do ballers and bugs. Management said we have to do ballers and bugs. The management over there said, yo, stick to the show plan. Yeah, the producer in the background and said, yo, stick to the script. Football roundup show, weekend recap. The reason why we were late, we were watching the own goal for the Eintracht Frankfurt goal against Heidenheim in the Bundesliga. Why do you think they're funny, Junior?
I tell you why.
Dalton Stewart said, why you too lie? You too lie, Junior.
Lie about what?
Because I said that management engineer said we have to start, the producer said we have to stick to the script. Ballers and bugs. Football family, we want to thank you as always for joining. Big up, thank you. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe to the show. Remember to check out our watch along of the Manchester derby earlier today. If you want to relive the moments in the game, just check it out. It's in the video somewhere down there. And Liverpool fans, next Sunday, what was it? 11:45 a.m. Liverpool versus Man City watch along. We're going to do another.
Yeah, but they're at church. But I miss church next week.
You won't miss church next week. Why you didn't miss it this week?
I stupidly. Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. We have ballers and bugs at the top of the show. We have EPL roundup, Manchester derby, top the kind of center focus. Darwin Núñez winner in the 99th minute for Liverpool. We'll discuss Liverpool's great escape. We'll also take a look at Paul Pogba's suspension. 4 years, brother. 4 years? Jaja. Kylian Mbappe say, yo, you take me off at halftime, I will go on the stand. We'll take a look at what's going on with Kylian Mbappe and PSG. CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup action, front and center. In fact, we'll give you update on Paraguay versus Mexico quarterfinal game. We'll put this score live update in the upper right hand corner. Jamaican football report. The real solid action campaign leader, Mr. Anderson, said, yo, something not right in his recent presser as we await the JFF election. We'll also discuss the Reggae Boys versus TNT, two friendlies that just concluded, and Jamaican Premier League news. Junior, ballers for you, family.
My baller, first of all, I'm stealing some of the Liverpool fans, but Darwin Núñez, I mean, we chronicle Núñez struggles, we crack jokes at him, and you have to give Núñez credit for staying the course. And honestly, I cannot be more happy for a football player for his triumph and scoring in the 99th minute. It is one of those feel-good stories. It's not about being a Liverpool fan or a Liverpool hater. It's being a fan of sports. And that's what makes sports worthwhile when a player can persevere like that. I want to give it to Timo Werner. I really want to give Timo Werner Benton. He scored yesterday, but Jaja. And what we saw in chat and the turn around and score. But honorable mention to Timo Werner. Phil Foden is a baller. What does I have to say? Phil Foden to the destroyed Manchester United. Phil Foden is a baller. Puerto Rico in a losing effort, and this is a baller and bug. I like what Puerto Rico did in the Gold Cup. It came down to a weird toss, weird like tiebreaker. I would have loved to see them on with who? Them on Panama or whoever.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. I would have loved to see them on Costa Rica at least go to a penalty shootout or something. It's one of those because that goalkeeper from Puerto Rico, it's a breath of fresh air to see what's going on. Mexico, women Gold Cup team. I don't care if Paraguay beat them in a Gold Cup. Them give it to America in the Gold Cup, and that 2-0 game was exhilarating. So it's a beautiful second goal. So Mexico get my ball of the week as well. And I'm going to give it to Bayern Munich. And this is why I'm giving Bayern Munich ball of the week. Bayern Munich, when they come out and basically say Thomas Tuchel is a lame duck coach, Thomas Tuchel is not going to be here next year. There's finale. There's a sense of finale into Bayern Munich saga this year. So regardless of what happened, Bayern Munich brass can say, we don't make a decision already. We're already moving on from Tuchel. And we saw that with the draw game. We'll have come out and want to cuss off Bayern Munich. But right now, Tuchel is a lame duck coach. So Bayern Munich get my ball of the week for taking care of business. Bugs of the week, I soon talk about teams that are not doing what Bayern Munich doing.
Ballers and Bugs segment, family, big up yourself. El Pistolero, Dalton, where's your baller, Dalton? Ballers, Liverpool and Liverpool only for Dalton. Ballers, baller for El Pistolero. McAllister is a baller. Big up yourself, BM. BM says baller of the week, Leon Bailey. He continues to be impactful for Villa. Send on your ballers. Send on your ballers. Yeah, man. Leon Bailey play some serious football. Serious. And send on your bugs. We'll get to your bug in a second, El Pistolero. Ballers and bugs. Baller for me. We have to highlight one and only Sheridan, goalkeeper Sheridan in goal for Canada in the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup. She was outstanding in goal. I don't know how Canada won that game yesterday against Costa Rica. I mean, this is how the gap has closed in women's football in CONCACAF. Tonight, USA will take on Colombia in a very, very big game. But Canada's goalkeeper, Sheridan, he made some huge saves at the death to keep that game in Canada's column as they advance to the semi-final. Ballers and ballers for me again. Xabi Alonso, brother. We can't emphasize. You have Grimaldo and you have Frimpong. These two players, I don't know where them find them from. But they have scored, 11 goals each? That's more, and they are winners. They're probably left back and right back. Yo, the man has scored more goals than strikers. Imagine that. That's the fluidity of the Xabi Alonso system. And so, ball of the week to them and what they're doing as they open a 10 points gap ahead of Bundesliga dominant Bayern Munich. And yo, you highlight Darwin Núñez and you gave him a ball of the week, but we just want to add the stats to it. 14 goals and 11 assists for Darwin Núñez so far this season. Say what we want about him, but him deserve him rose when him do it. That
Yes.
was a very, very good header. Big up yourself, Darwin Núñez. Phil Foden, baller, general. And Edson Alvarez scoring that goal at the 94th minute against Everton. For a player that ran his socks off, covered every blade of grass in that game against Everton.
Yeah.
Be running that hard in the 92nd, 93rd, or whatever minute it was to score. You know, yes, Everton already won the game, but that just shows fitness, shows preparation. The man I go hard. And yo, big up yourself, Edson Alvarez. You get a ball off the week from me. Bugs. Dalton said Bugs is Shit United. I always steam that. Bug of the week for BM is Manchester United. I'm glad I didn't waste my sleep earlier today. Brethren, the ball game start 10:30 a.m. What kind of waste sleep? What kind of, you're supposed to be wide awake. Bug of the week, Hal Grimson. BM is also giving Hal Grimson Bug of the week. After nearly 2 years, the man still don't have a system of play. Joke thing. Does a system really matter, Junior, if you're winning football games?
No.
Okay. All right.
But I think BM has to find something.
Well, he hasn't won anything yet, so let's keep the fire burning. BM against Hal Grimson, the dentist. Junior, over to you. Bug of the week, family.
You know, I forget the people. Just look it up. Bundesliga own goal yesterday. I forgot the game, but
Eintracht Frankfurt versus Heidenheim.
Yeah, look up that own goal, and it's one of the funniest own goal. They give it to the defender that passed the back. I think the goalkeeper is Muller. Yeah. Muller get bug of the week because how can you miss kick that? Yes, the ball took a difficult bounce, but God damn. I highlighted Bayern Munich and gave Bayern Munich a ball of the week for taking care of business early. So it explains away any bad results that happen between now and the end of the season. They know Thomas Tuchel is a lame duck coach, and anything good come from the season is brought up. Anything bad that come from the season, we already know Thomas Tuchel is garbage, right? What PSG is doing with Kylian Mbappe by trying to satisfy both sides of the fence is coming back and hurting PSG every day. Every day. And the closer we get to the end of the season, I think is the more embarrassing thing is going to come for PSG. We soon talk about Mbappe getting substituted and going into the start. That's just poor management, and that's what happened when you have a player that think he's bigger than the system. So PSG get my bug of the week. You can't give it to Manu, but if I'm going to give Manu a pass, you also have to give Chelsea a pass. But Benton, what the hell is going on at Chelsea, Benton? What the hell? Pochettino. I mean, and it is more than the draw. We saw the game against Liverpool, and all of a sudden, Nkunku hurt again. And Nkunku only played what? Stop overtime, extra time. And when Nkunku came on the field, I type in the chat, in the group chat, Nkunku look out of shape to me. Walking on the field, him look like a big belly Sunday baller. And so said, so done, the man hurt again. What is going on at Chelsea? It's just the revolving door. Every week is something new. Chelsea get my bug of the week. Reggae girls, the Reggae girls, they are sitting down in Europe right now, and I'm going to call a spade a spade. They don't want to go through the stress of flying in, going through all of these stress, playing in a Gold Cup game, which is the reason why they boycotted the Gold Cup. Let's just call a spade. They boycotted playing in the Gold Cup and said, we're not going, and if we don't make it, we don't make it. Now when you look at the Gold Cup, you're saying to yourself, Puerto Rico, Panama, Costa Rica, all of these teams, America is rebuilding, Canada. It would have been perfect for Jamaica to be there and should be making it to the semifinals. Should be playing the quarterfinals or making it to the semifinals. The Reggae girls get the bug of the week for Vito.
You done?
I am done.
BM says Leverkusen never won the Bundesliga before. Looks like this is their season. Hey, you want to take down that Leverkusen talk, And Junior, we'll deal with you and the Reggae girls later on. Cause we don't have time. We don't have time for you to forget about Reggae girls right there. Um, Ballers and Bugs. By the way, Ballers and Bugs. We want to highlight Roma in the Baller segment. We forgot about Roma Junior. Since Jose Mourinho got the boot at Roma, Brethren, you watch Roma? The man them score. I think they scored what 24 goals since Jose Mourinho get Lego.
Honeymoon period.
Honeymoon period or not? So where's Pochettino honeymoon period? When did Chelsea score 24 goals?
Incoming.
It's incoming. So big up to Daniel De Rossi. You get a baller, brother. And it just concluded Napoli Juve game. Napoli won the game 2-1. Very, very good football game. Bugs for me. This president of the Panamanian Football Association, Manuel Arias, president of the Panamanian Football Federation. We don't want to misrepresent what Mr. Arias says, so we're going to make sure we get the direct quote, word for word, verbatim. We don't want to misrepresent. Manuel Arias, president of the Panamanian Football Federation, says, quote, some of the players are fat and out of shape, end quote. As meaning the Panamanian women players he was referring to. And he directly called Martha Cox, the no fear baller, my number 10 general. Okay. Bug of the week to Manuel Arias, man. Bug of the week. Whether Martha Cox out of shape or not, keep them things around corner, brother. Bug of the week. Yo, that's my bugs of the week. Our bug of the week. President of the Panamanian Football Association, Manuel Arias. All right. Now to the highly demand.
But before you go that, BM said, how can you give Reggae Girls bug of the week? The JFF mashed up the team because they couldn't handle Sidella getting the praise. Well, BM, I guess let me just be that guy for 1 second, Benton.
Go ahead.
JFF has been mashing up this team for the last 8 years. Easily, right? But they persevered and went to 1 World Cup, persevered and went to a 2nd World Cup. So why you couldn't persevere 1 more time and go to the Gold Cup? The answer is because you guys wait up and say, we're not going to get much out of the Gold Cup like we got out of the World Cup, so it's not worth it. I would have done the same thing if I was in their shoes. So I'm not saying they did the wrong thing, but however, as a Jamaican football fan, I can say that they did the wrong thing by turning their back on the Gold Cup. And that's why I said that they get bug of the week.
Okay. All right. Manchester Derby time. Are you finished?
I'm done.
You're done. We'll dissect that later on if we get time, or one next show. Manchester Derby time. Yo, people, the Manchester United fans might try to delay the discussion. BM is a Manchester United fan, and Junior is a Manchester United fan. So they are trying to focus the discussion on other things, like the Reggae Girls. All right, 3-1 at the Etihad, Junior. 2 beautiful goals from Mankal, Foden. Haaland scored 1 tap-in at the end. All right, you know. Junior, we did the watch along. Coach Eric Ten Hag said there were small margins between these 2 teams. He also felt like Rashford was fouled before the Man City's tying goal.
Yeah.
He said, call it soft, call it whatever you want. It was a foul. Junior, big takeaway from this Manchester derby for you. First, your Manchester United hat, and then take it off and be an objective observer.
Well, as with a Manchester United hat, I don't know. We were lucky. We're in a Manchester United hat, and that's it. Man U was lucky. Looking at it objectively, any team that gives up an early goal will get knocked back, right? and there will be a period where you have to recover, gather back yourself, gather back your energy, and move forward. That's what we saw today. Manchester United took advantage, got an early goal, rocked City back, and City took a while to get going. But once City got going, they were pretty much unstoppable. That's what we saw. Now, when Ten Hag talks about small margins, I honestly believe that Ten Hag sees what we see. I honestly believe that his impression of his players are the same impression that we have. And he's not mincing his words by saying these are two professional teams. They go there and they can compete. But the difference is Man City has player X while Man U don't have player X. And you can put in any body name from Man City and we can say Manchester United don't have it. Man City has a Phil Foden. Man U don't have a Phil Foden type. Man City has a Kevin De Bruyne. Man U don't have a Kevin De Bruyne. Man City has a Rodri. I think Man U has their Rodri in Casemiro. Because Casemiro had a good game today. But it's very small margins. It's very small things that differentiate these two teams. And it showed to them.
I mean, I think Manchester United did the best they could. At the beginning of the watch along this morning, I said that I actually predicted the score 3-1 accurately.
Yes.
So I'll pat myself on the back for that one. Very rarely I predict scores correctly. You know what? At the end of the day, call it small margins or call it big margin. One team is a big side, aka a title-winning team, while the other one is lost at sea, i.e., directionality-wise, this team needs some good sort of personnel to really start challenge for title. I mean, when I talk about players who you can look to when the real Gideon start and say, yo, ball game, we are going to win for player title. I mean, and it's just for me like the captaincy epitomizes. A long time, I think about 2 years ago, we talked to Lauren about Reggae Girls football game. And Lauren Donaldson said this thing, say you have captains and you have on-field generals. All right? Not everybody who wear armband mean them a captain.
Right.
You know, but you have a man, you're supposed to have somebody on the field that you can look to and say, yo, a ball game time, let's go do it. And I think Manchester United is missing that person. Maybe Casemiro is that person, or should be that person. But they are missing that person who's not only skillfully can do it, but also have the authority vocally to say, yo, ball game time, you know. Manchester United, Man City has these people in place. And if they don't have it, in terms of on the field, they have a coach who willing to come kick a boy and face and say, come hold a seat. You know, and it's just the depth, the gulf, I don't think it's small. Ten Hag can say what he wants to say. You know, Man City is playing a high-risk football game. And meaning that they're trying to press and recover early, but if you can beat them, they took the best approach for this Manchester United team. Speed kills. Excellent goal from Marcus Rashford, but ultimately the wear and tear of pass and trying to defend from a Man City trying to protect, you're going to leave yourself exposed. And ultimately you're going to get undone. And Manchester United depth is not there at the moment. So, and I don't know if Ten Hag is the coach to kind of resurrect Manchester United to the champion. I'm talking about resurrect the championship level year in, year out. When you say Manchester United are forward, you know, say, well, yo, big side of reach. I think that seems to be a bit of a concern right now because Aston Villa seems to, when you have some teams are forward, you know, say a big side of reach. And when Manchester United are reach right now, we're uncertain. And maybe it's heavily contributed to depth, but it's just there's inconsistencies that need to be rectified with this team.
Yeah, but wait, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, man. So it's just, to me, it would be a shocker if Man City even drew this game today. First and foremost, because of the simple fact that you are run in for a title challenge, you in a title race, and secondly, you have all your pieces available. You have everyone available at your disposal and ready to go. Manchester United missing key pieces. All right? And even with them key pieces, you said, well, yo, me not think them are going City go win. They might be able to get a draw even with them key pieces, but not when these two teams are fully loaded and ready to go in the current setup. You know, so I think it was incumbent on Man City to win this football game, and as a professional who are running for your title, you go win it. You know, you're not playing with no boy. They want to score first, but you win it.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking about your comment, and you said that Manchester United is too inconsistent, right? I think you're really highlighting the issue within the team, which is the players who are expected to be world class are not world class. You get paid to be a world class. It's almost like players are being paid to be world class instead of being paid because they are world class. And see if that makes any sense. Like, what I'm saying is, there's a report that came out recently saying the board is disappointed in the treatment of Mason Mount. You know why the Manchester United board is disappointed in the treatment of Mason Mount? Because the number 7 shirt is such an iconic shirt at Manchester United. There's something wrong when the number 7 shirt is not on the field. Wrap your mind around that statement, Mentor. Have nothing to do with football. It's all about marketing. You were brought in and you are given a number 7 shirt. You're expected to play like Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Eric Cantona. That's what you're expected to play. Where in the mind did we lose a world-class player being a world-class player? So Manchester United is a big name team. I'm only using Man U because we're talking about Man U. Manchester United is a big name team right now. In the summer, Manchester United obviously is going to make transfers in the summer market. You expect the player that is being brought in to be world-class. So, Man U spend 100 million on Anthony. You're supposed to be a world-class footballer. And if you're not playing like a world-class baller, something is wrong. Why can't we just say we're bringing in a footballer and make him come in and play him game, right? That is where Man U problem is. If you were to give, and I firmly believe this, if you were to give Ten Hag the team that Van Gaal inherited, Man U would be a lot better right now. A lot better. I think Man U has the right coach. They don't have the right players. The players are garbage. And we are forcing ourselves as Manchester United fans to think that Rashford is a world-class player because he got paid so much money. Bruno is a world-class player because he has on the armband. And the reality is they're not good enough. Simple. They're not good enough. And we're wasting money on these players. And we need to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Ultimately, this is why I am kind of reluctant to say yeah or nay upon Eric Ten Hag. Here's the reason why. His body of work at Ajax said yes, he's a world-class coach. All right, that to me, with that level of success at Ajax, low budget but developing talent, identifying talent, and making talent better in a system is impressive, right?
Right.
But in the same vein, this brother reached at Manchester United, and maybe he's not in charge of all transfers. But we have seen transfers, and I expect a manager like Eric Ten Hag. No one comes in his squad, in his team, without his approval. So if Manchester United brought one transfer Junior, and Eric Ten Hag said Junior doesn't fit my team, that not gonna work. I don't expect that deal to happen. And maybe I am wrong from that scenario, but when I see from a player like Anthony, how does Eric Ten Hag, as a man who know talent and know players, know ballers, have this baller in his squad? So you have transfers that, and I know he probably needs more time, but time is precious in this business, right? You don't get a lot of time. You have players that you authorize them transfer, and then it's like, brother, come on, that man not playing no ball. There's no way Manchester United supposed to depend on a young Toby Mino. Good kid, talented kid, but this is one kid you should be saying, yo, you see, when we have him sit down behind these veterans and I learn the thing, next year is fire.
Yeah.
You see how Phil Foden sat and waited behind some generals at Man City? So now
let's not call Mahrez a general, though.
All right. Well, Mahrez is a general. Hey, look, the man at Leicester City did something that will never be done again. You know? Yeah, but he sat and he waited and he learned from ballers.
Right.
So, and that was one thing that was notable in Pep's presser. Pep says, you know what? He's one of the best players now because he has learned. He doesn't grumble about playing any positions. He's open, but most importantly, now he is translating his development into winning games, contributing to winning games, and that is where. So a young youth like a man, now I say, yo, the man is a ball, I'm a play ball and rare. But at the same time, you want, because he's 18 years old, you don't want to rest on him for come help you come beat a big side.
Yep.
And so ultimately what will happen I think have to happen with Manchester United next summer is just good luck trying to clear some of these players out. Because you either move them at a loss, and then what do you do with the rest that you try? You have to find money to bring in others.
I would eat the contracts. I personally would eat the contracts and tell and just signal to the whole world we are rebuilding. So not because we're bringing in a player in the summer. Not every transfer is going to be a world-class baller. We're rebuilding, right? And you don't have to make it that open. Just know that Manchester United, like I expect this summer, I expect 4 or 5 transfers in, and I'm expecting them to each be about 30 to 35 million. Nothing to blow your socks off about. There'll be no one player that's 100 million.
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, even though Manu brought in Anthony for 100 plus, in a perfect world, Anthony would have been a rotational player because you would have had Jadon Sancho rotating with him. So there wouldn't be as much pressure as Anthony from the start.
The demand wouldn't be so heavy on him.
Right, and it would have been, Ten Hag buy this player for 100-something million, but we're only seeing him one every 3 game, one every 4 game. If you notice, look at the time it took Garnacho to go from when he started to where he is now. It took him some time. Remember, Garnacho wasn't getting these starts, and sometimes Garnacho come on and play stupidness. But he was always behind Rashford and Sancho at the time. Anthony wasn't affording that opportunity. So Anthony had to come in and hit the ground. I'm not making an excuse for him, but it is what it is. You have players out there, you highlight Ford. When Foden first started playing, I remember Foden with the blood here, and we used to tease him and say, all about worry about is blooding him here and blah, blah, blah. That's not the same Foden now, but Foden got the chance to play behind Bernardo Silva, play behind Riyad Mahrez, and learn the game, get him chances, go out there, make him mistake, and come back and go back to the drawing board. Manchester United is not afforded that opportunity. That's the difference in the two teams.
BM
Small
says,
margins.
yeah, go ahead.
Small margins.
Nah, big margin, that brother. BM says Man United is missing a Roy Keane. He was a serious player.
They're not. They're not missing one player. They're missing a mentality.
And to be fair, you know, when me not put the words in no one mouth, but when I'm speaking about the players and the expectations, these players is not like them don't care, aka they don't care. These are for the most part, a lot of these players, them a go out, them a put a shift in, and them a work. And I mean, it's just it's hard, brother. It's hard to win football games, especially when you're going up against a well-oiled machine that is just know the formula for win. You see me I say so?
Right.
It takes work, brother. You don't have to just show up and win football games. All right, 3-1 victory at Etihad. Man City closed the gap on Liverpool. Big victory, as I said. Pep said a lot of things in the post-match presser, but we're not gonna really delve into all of that right now, cause you know. Other EPL results, brother. Before we take a look at the table, I mean, all right, you know what? Before we go to other EPL results, let's just look at Liverpool. Nottingham. Was this too difficult than it's supposed to be? I mean, I know Nottingham Forest is in a relegation battle. This was at the Forest Stadium. Was this too difficult than it's supposed to be?
No, you just highlighted why it's not too difficult. Nottingham Forest is in a relegation battle. This is, remember, we said in early December, we said look out for these games towards the end of the season when these teams that are in the top four are chasing the title. They are going to run into some pothole games. And this was a pothole game that Liverpool navigated and got through, especially with the running of fixtures that Liverpool just gone through. You just play a game against Chelsea that went 100 and how much minutes, and then you turn around now and a tough travel to Nottingham Forest with all the injuries that them have. It is not too difficult. You, like you said, you try to win a championship, you find a way to win.
Big question though for Liverpool, as Mexico is leading Paraguay 1-0. Ovelli with the goal in the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup action. Big question for Liverpool. How do they survive this stretch with these injuries, brother?
You know how? Finding a way to score within 99 minutes and not giving up a goal. Because if Liverpool, let's say the game had drawn 0-0, I'll be here right here now. You know, Liverpool there, the players are only human. They're fighting, they're playing hard, blah, blah, blah. They're having a tough run of schedules, and they are still finding a way to get a positive result, right? So even in a negative, it's still a positive. They are taking care of business.
Because even yesterday game, I want to say Joe Gomez actually played in midfield.
Yes, he did.
Because they were so short. I mean, at least he made some subs later on. He got some people back. Endo, Slobosly came on and later on. But I want to say Joe Gomez started in midfield. Liverpool fans can correct me for that one. But big victory for Liverpool. Big victory. Cody Gakpo needs to figure out himself still, because they need Cody Gakpo to score some goals.
Yeah, but then Gakpo is also being afforded time, right? So, yeah, like you're highlighting that as an analyst, right? But you think a Liverpool fan is sitting down worried about that right now? No, we win the game. We move on.
Yeah, but when you get tapped in, score them.
True.
When you get tapped in, score them. EPL results, other results this weekend. Bournemouth defeat Burnley 2-0. Virgin, can Burnley survive this whole thing, family? As in staying up?
No, and the feel-good story about company is wearing off. at least for me, it's weird enough because I think what company is learning right now is you can't want to play pretty football, which Burnley does. You can't want to play expansive football, which Burnley does. But at the end of the day, your bread is buttered based on staying in the Premier League. There is no participation trophy where you get a participation medal and say, yo, you know what? Even though you are getting relegated, the fans love the fact that you played pretty football. No, the fans want results. And pretty soon, that tide will be turning if it hasn't turned as yet.
Chelsea 2-2 with Brentford. West Ham 3-1 over Everton. Fulham 3-0 over Brighton. Newcastle huge 3-0 over Wolves. Of course, Liverpool over Forest. Spurs come from behind 3-1 over Crystal Palace. Wicked goal. Very good goal by one Mr. Easy. Golasso. Aston Villa 3-2 over Luton. Aston Villa tends to take these leads and then just start relax and the other teams start claw them back. One day them going to get clipped. If them keep playing around with this thing, one day them going to get clipped. And what you want to highlight about the other results, family?
That Aston Villa Everton game. Now, I'm sorry, that West Ham Everton game. The West Ham goalkeeper should get a ball of the week. Save a penalty. Ario, yeah. Save a penalty. Make some key point blank saves. Some key point blank saves in some very key moments. One could say Everton should have put them away. Obviously, the penalty should have been put away. But, that game to me, even though the game is 3-1, if you watch the game, you would say Everton could feel like they were hard. They had a little bit of hard luck. And West Ham could say they earned their luck. And that was a very good football game. A very good ball game.
Yeah, man. Good ball game. Big news for the Reggae Boys. Mikel Antonio made his return, Junior. I mean, with injuries abound, Amari Bell got injured in the game against for Luton against Aston Villa. So he might not be available for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League game. Let's see. Ethan Pinnock is reported to be out. We haven't seen him in a while for Brentford for the last few weeks, I think. But it was good to see Mikel Antonio back on the grass. He got some valuable minutes. Junior, good news for the Reggae Boys?
Not really. I think it makes and I just checked. So it's in 3 weeks.
What? 3 weeks? What?
Nation League quarterfinal. Under 3
in the semifinal,
the semifinal, yeah.
Yeah. It's what? March 15th or thereabout, right?
March 21st.
21st.
Son birthday too. But you guys son me the day when I said Jamaica need to start thinking about moving out from Mikel Antonio.
I mean, that's fine. We can son you the day and we can agree say they need to start moving on. But
do you agree now?
No, we need to win a game or 2 games. We can't.
Especially with Demarai Gray being out for suspension.
Yes, that's a huge blow. So you need Mikel Antonio or any all hands on deck. I think.
You know which hand me I love to sit on the deck?
Who that?
Mason Greenwood. The gunman.
All right. We're not playing any grab and take ball around here. We have upstanding citizens wearing the shirt of the Reggae Boys. No grab and take players around here. Pochettino, speaking of Chelsea family, Pochettino says, quote, of course, the Chelsea fans them booed. Why Chelsea fans them I get upset, them get cross. He says, quote, we need to understand the fans are emotional. I'm fighting to provide the team the best tools to work and to improve and play in this way, score goals and win games. He also went on to say something about exhaustion. He says, I am not worried. We need to accept this. You just need to build a relationship through winning games. I won't ask for it. I will continue to work and change the perception. Junior Pochettino, what really are going? Yeah, what do you make anything out of that statement regarding Pochettino and Chelsea?
He's just buying time for a good run of results. And at some point, we'll have to stop putting the microphone in Pochettino's face. Because how many times, like, why do we care about your explanation for another bad result? If I was Pochettino, I would say, why do you care about my explanation of another bad result? Just take any one of the last comment that won't make for the last 15 games and insert here. Don't experiment to reinvent the wheel. That's how I see it. I think he's just wasting time. I think he's just buying time and just doing his due diligence until a good run of form.
Pochettino said something that stood out to me, Junior, this week. He said that his midfielders were tired, or something to that effect. And meaning Enzo and Caicedo are tired, or were tired in that game. It's something he implied that. Now, right. Chelsea have this youth on the bench, Caicedo, who we saw at the U20 World Cup. He was on loan at Reading last year. Why he can't get any minutes, Junior?
They must be struggling in practice, and if Chelsea is playing the way they're playing right now, imagine what the players who can get on the field look like in practice. If it's a practice thing, it's just as a Pochettino player. I don't know.
So what we saw the difference between managers. Well, I guess big managers don't have any problems with giving youths opportunities, because right. We see over at Manchester United are allegedly big managers. Meno is getting an opportunity in this Manchester United setup. Chelsea manager is saying that his two midfielders that he's going through a lot, Caicedo and Fernandes are tired. But right. You have youth behind him who can in the squad who cannot get game. Then what does that even say about you as a coach? Is he not aware that there are players in the squad that he can play?
Yeah, but you know what though? There might be an argument to be had is a lack of trust, right? So Pochettino just don't trust the younger players. Fair enough. And how can you build trust? You can build trust by doing it on the field, right? But has Chelsea played in a game where they are so comfortably ahead that they can now risk putting in one of the young players, right? That could be what is holding the whole thing back. So it is one of those symbiotic relationships where the people that are ahead, they are so dependent on the people that are behind them, but the people that are behind them are so dependent on the people that are ahead to go out there and put in a good performance so that they in the back can get a game. Right? And that hasn't happened. When you see a Chelsea game where Chelsea's, even if Chelsea is only up 1-0, you're looking at the game and say Chelsea's way ahead. When does that happen?
Yeah, fair enough. But we can look at the EPL table, Junior, and we can say, all right, the current position of Chelsea doesn't have there's a legitimate argument said to say that, play the youth now. Give them a run. Because it's not like you are sitting in 10th position currently.
Right.
All right. And Chelsea, that is, in 10th position.
10 or 11?
11th.
Oh.
You are in 11th position on 36 points, 1 point ahead of Fulham. Giving Ayuta Caicedo a run doesn't drop you into the relegation zone, but you give them valuable minutes. Right. And yet you come with this excuse that the man them tired.
So, but then
Caicedo,
what if
not Caicedo?
But what if Pochettino play one of the young youth them and it becomes a disaster?
Well, it's already a disaster.
No, but that's the thing. No, so before we extend, you have to have damage control. So before we risk um a disaster happening, let's get to a place where the chances of disaster happening is minimal. And maybe that whatever that is for, because it's obviously different for Liverpool. And I can also argue that the fact that Liverpool play those young kids in the League Cup against Chelsea, that they are now afforded the ability to score the 90th, 99th minute today or yesterday against Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah.
Because Klopp is trusting the younger players that he can rotate the players that he has right now, regardless of experience, regardless of injury. Rotate them, trust them, go out there, get a result, and we'll move forward.
Yeah, that is what good coaches do. You trust your people. You tell them, yo. You said to them, say, yo, you of course they are part of your squad, so they are training with your group, and
Right.
you build them, and you said, okay, and you acknowledge that there will be errors made because I'm a pitney. But
Yep.
at the same time, in those errors, they are learning, and hopefully you will foster a ball. Like you say, yo, because we see the youth, we see him at Reading, and we see him at the U20 World Cup, and the youth can definitely play ball. I mean, he's a dominant midfielder. But
Right.
most importantly, he gives the players that you, Mr. Pochettino, said are exhausted some much needed break. Whether it's
I
a
agree.
45 minutes break or a 60 minutes break, them get a break. Because you said them tired enough. So
Yep.
if them tired now, imagine what will happen later on in the season.
Yeah.
Liverpool on top of the table, Junior. Arsenal, one more game for this round. Arsenal play Sheffield United. Arsenal, if we expect Arsenal to take up those 3 points. Your thoughts on the table? Arsenal will play Sheffield United tomorrow, family.
It's definitely it's definitely a three-horse race. With Aston Villa waiting for all the teams to kind of slip. But it's definitely a three-horse race. Arsenal, assuming they take care of business, the 3 spots will be different are different by a total of 2 points, which is crazy to me. So, we in the business end. We are in the business end of football. We have 1 week left, or
Before the
April,
international
May.
break, one more next weekend.
No, actually talking about for the season. So
Okay.
you really have about 2.5 weeks left, because anytime it reach around Memorial Day, that's May 28th, around that time, that's Champions League final. So somewhere you would know that we in the business end now.
Before we want to get your thoughts on Liverpool versus Man City before we leave EPL, but Aston Villa 4 points ahead of Spurs. Spurs has a game in hand for that 4th spot. Junior, we spoke about Aston Villa taking leads and then allowing teams back into these games.
Right.
Do you think this is going to catch up to them? By the way, big up ball of the week to the one, Mr. Ollie Watkins. I mean, I know someone gave Leon Bailey a ball of the week earlier, and rightfully so, but Ollie Watkins has scored, played some serious ball game too.
Yeah.
So do you think this is going to catch up with Aston Villa, family?
Of course, yes. Because you're going to have that one game where it's not going right for you going forward. And you can't change the way you play right now. So, yes, it will catch up to them.
And importantly, they have Spurs this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Huge game. And this is on the back of first leg Europa League game against Ajax on Thursday. So,
And it is caddy card. It's like right spot dab in the middle of both games, right?
huh?
It's right in the middle of both Ajax games.
Yes, so the Aston Villa game is Sunday, March 10th at 9 a.m. The first leg of Ajax game is Thursday at 12:45 p.m. So this Thursday. So big week ahead for Aston Villa.
Yes, Thursday night turnaround, and 3 days later play against Tottenham.
Okay. Now, before we take ourselves from this thing, Liverpool. Liverpool plays Man City this Sunday also. 11:45 a.m. We'll do a watch along for this game. Liverpool is also have an important game in the first leg of Europa League. Your early thoughts on these games? This game in particular. Man City has Champions League second leg on Wednesday, but they look like that lock up already against Copenhagen.
My first takeaway from it, and it's still early, is that this is a game of wills. Liverpool has a will to win. Man City has a will to dominate, right?
Yeah.
And Liverpool right now, I think Liverpool is being driven by the goal of sending out Klopp on top in multiple competitions, right? So that will, that force that Liverpool is bringing to the game, Man City has to match it and even offer more in return if they want to get a positive result. My early read is it's going to be a good football game. If you want me to, if you're going to force me to give a result, after looking at the game today, I think Liverpool going to get more joy. Just imagine my Colombian brother name.
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz. Just imagine Luis Diaz getting the ball today that Rashford got and Rashford dropped. Imagine Diaz behind on that ball. I imagine what will happen. Right?
Yeah.
So I am leaning towards Liverpool, but I can't count Pep out.
The game is at Anfield. I don't expect Pep to play this open against Liverpool as they did today against Man United. I expect him to be a bit more cautious. Rather than send his John Stone into the midfield, I expect John Stone to steer. I expect him to actually play a double pivot with Rodri and maybe a Bernardo Silva beside him. I would say Kevin De Bruyne, but I don't expect Kevin De Bruyne to do any heavy tackling. Double pivot, De Bruyne in the 10 behind the Viking, Foden on the right. The left side, I don't know. I mean, this is where maybe a Jack Grealish going to come in because they can give you extra help in midfield.
Right.
I don't know how he deal with the left side.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. But then hold on. Because that's Trent's side.
Yeah, but Bradley is playing. I don't know if Trent will be available for that game.
Well, true.
I don't know if Trent will be available. I mean, and so we have to wait and see who will be available for. They got Szoboszlai back yesterday. They got who else they got back yesterday? A few players for Liverpool. So they're getting healthier. I don't know if Salah will be back. If Salah is back for this game, that's huge. Because then that change up the dynamics of Man City's ability to defend, you know?
Yeah.
Game is at Anfield though, so we don't know Man City. Phil Foden said they're looking forward to the game. When asked about it, he said we don't do very well there. So I think that last time, you know, it ended in a draw, so we don't know. All right, family. Moving away from EPL news, we're going to do a quick roundup and get some other news, knock some other news out. Paul Pogba story, family. The situation with Paul Pogba, he was suspended for 4 years. Juventus midfielder has been banned from football after failing a drug test in August 2023. Junior, your thoughts on this, brother?
It is a sad end. I think sad end. Sad. Is a sad story. I can't put any other words out there. You wish Pogba had more of a handle on his career. I rumors out there abound that people in him camp wanted him to go through something similar. Let me just put it that way. So there's a lot to peel off with this one. But at the end of the day, it's going to be sad that Paul Pogba, who is giving up his prime years right now, made such a bad decision. And at the end of the day, regardless if somebody give it to him or if, regardless of how he got it, he must own it. Now, my question though is, it happened May last year. That was the ruling, right?
Yeah.
When does the 7 year start? No, or last year?
I think it starts now because now is the ruling. Now them just rule.
That rough.
You know, Paul Pogba put out a statement. He says, you know, quite a number of things. He said the things that stood out in the statement. He says, I'm sad, shocked, and heartbroken that everything I have built in my professional career has been taken away from me. When I'm free of legal restrictions, the full story will become clear. But I have never knowingly or deliberately taken any supplements that violate anti-doping regulations. He went on to say, as a consequence of the decision announced, I will appeal this before the Court of Arbitration for Sports, end quote.
Read between the lines.
I guess this is one of those stories, Junior, where you always say, boy, just wait till the full story comes.
Wait till the full story comes. It
full.
sounds fishy.
Yeah, I mean, something. I mean, I know I'm getting into speculation space. So the background of this, Pogba was supposed to do a surgery. To remind listeners, Juve wanted him to do a surgery before the 2022 World Cup. He decided after suffering that not nasty, but he had an injury. I think it was a knee injury. And Pogba decided not to take the surgery route. He decided to explore, I think, alternative treatment options to try to be ready for the 2022 World Cup. He wasn't ready. He returned, and then Pogba is a baller. We watched Pogba from Wapikill Philip at the youth level. And to see it come to this, Junior.
Sad.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's sad. It's very sad. And it's a reminder to the young players out there. Know who you are associating yourself with. And do not put anything in your body that if you have any question marks about or anything, don't trust anybody. Simple.
I just find this fishy. I find it from the man left Manchester United and returned to Juventus. Nothing but bad things have been happening.
Right.
Manchester United people are the man.
Oh, stop it.
AKA put some bad juju on him. From he left Manchester United, Junior. Injuries, suspension now, injuries, till 4 year. But no, man, something not right, man. Something. So we will await to see the final verdict on this. Of course, going to the Court of Arbitration, we'll see if Pogba is able to reduce. But ultimately, do you think some of this will be reduced, Junior?
Yes. I think he's going to serve time for doping, but I can't see him being in there longer than 2 years.
I didn't want to do this, but BM decided to do it. BM says, I'm going to be that guy. And quote, is it possible he was set up so Juventus can have an excuse to terminate his contract? End quote. Junior,
possible.
You are the be that guy type of person.
It is possible. It is possible, and Juve can get to one of his friends. It's possible. Now put it past somebody. But God, go with them if we can prove that, though.
Yeah, but there's nothing out of the realm of possibility with Juventus.
Right.
Yeah, big up to my brethren Guido, who always a big Juventus fan, who probably will cuss me out tomorrow and say, Brenton, don't chat no foolishness about Juve. I mean, we know Juve has a history of a checker part. We're not going down that road there.
Yeah.
Not going down that road. But it's a possibility. Anything is possible in this life, BM. Let's see. But Pogba did say once he's free of legal restrictions, he will speak clearly. Watch the space.
Go to coaching.
And is it strange that since Riola has passed, Paul Pogba has been in a lot of... I mean, Riola was some sort of mentor, some sort of guidance. What?
Riola was a conduit to a lot of foolishness going on. Okay. So let's say this is a Riola player. They deal with Riola and pay the player big money. Now you take Riola out and the players want the same money. They must say, no. But I hire one private investigator and I'm going to investigate you. Or you 12 o'clock, midnight, you're up and blah, blah, blah. Come, cut a piece of contract, blah, blah. Remember, Riola protected his players from that. Wasn't Lukaku a Riola player?
Yeah, he was, and he left Riola to go with Jay-Z's.
Right, with Rock Nation. Yeah.
All of them are Riola. Zlatan, all of them did a Riola player.
Well, Zlatan had a successful career. Was it the brother that gone to Korea now, gone to the Korean League? Lingard, Jesse Lingard. Was Jesse Lingard a Riola player at one point too?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he is. I think he had Riola when he was flirting with West Ham.
I don't know.
So Riola protect him ball of them.
Yeah, I mean, pity Riola Duppy can't do it. Good luck, Paul. Good luck. We yearn for the days to see the real Paul Pogba back on the grass. Good luck, my brethren. Yeah. Speaking about back on the grass, Kylian Mbappe Jr. This week, PSG in a game on Friday, Kylian Mbappe was subbed at halftime by one Mr. Luis Enrique. Big up Fabrizio Romano who documented the stuff. After being subbed at halftime, Mbappe also been replaced in the second half in the 65th minute in the previous game. So this game, he was subbed at halftime. The game before that, he was subbed in the 65th minute. Kylian Mbappe decided to take a seat in the stands. Junior, be that guy and talk to going over here, so brother.
You remember Ronaldo did the same thing in the preseason?
Which Ronaldo? We're talking
Cristiano
about
Ronaldo.
We're talking about real Ronaldo or the one who won?
Cristiano Ronaldo, when he came back to Manchester United, I got subbed out in the preseason and take himself to the stands. I think Mbappe is doing the same thing, and is that I don't think it is ironic, or I don't think it's irony because Mbappe grew up as idolizing Cristiano Ronaldo. So, the man, he doesn't like the team that he's on, and he have problems with it, and he's going to use the tactics where Ronaldo used to take with himself. That's how we see it.
Junior, you have a lot of football left in the season, A lot of football left in the season for PSG, for Kylian Mbappe, for Luis Enrique. Put yourself in Luis Enrique and PSG's shoes. Yeah. How do you navigate this dynamics, Junior?
All right.
Because, all right, is every game now when I sub this player, I'm going to go out the stand and go sit down?
So if you have to ask that question, why is he even on the team?
What?
Why is he even on the team if you have to ask that question?
All right, well, then maybe he has a clause in the contract that he needs to be. I mean, we don't know what type of contract. Luis Enrique says on Mbappe subbed off at halftime, quote, I have been football for quite a long time. You must know that everything is important in this kind of club. Sooner or later, we will play without Mbappe. We have to get used to that, end quote. So if all right, Luis Enrique is saying that, brother, reading between the lines from what I'm understanding, he's saying, brother, we're moving on, basically.
But
All right.
yeah, but
Basically, yeah.
is that what the club is saying though? Got a coach is saying we're moving on, but the club seem like them still holding out to hope.
But Luis Enrique is saying we're moving on. Sooner or later, them have to play without Mbappe.
Right.
So that, to that end, so why even play with Mbappe? None at all.
I would also add to it too. Well, you're right. No, you're right. But I'm not add to. He shouldn't be in the squad. Send him to the under 18 and say, yo, Real Madrid, come get him when the contract open. We're done. That's all I'm about to do. Send a message.
Kylian Mbappe and his mother, Faiza, in the stands. Faiza, of course, a very huge part of Kylian Mbappe's success. Mother take care of her. I think she's his agent, actually.
Right.
So, other news, notable news this week before we step and look at Jamaican football quickly, family. Everton sanction for financial breaches reduced to 6 points. Good news?
Yeah. Beautiful news. Yay. Sean Dyche. Dyche is back. And you know, Everton, they did not drop their heads.
Yeah.
They played right through it, which is commendable.
Yeah, fair to them. They played right through it. They did not let the 10 points or whatever the punishment was, 10 points, damage their focus. So credit to them, to coaching staff and Everton. So this may be the final verdict on this case. There's another one that's pending for another breach regarding Everton. So we'll see that go. And I know Everton fans are screaming to the YouTube channel right now saying, what about the 115 charges against Man City? That's not my purview. That's, you know. CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup action, family. Quarterfinal games set going on. Big game later on tonight. USA versus Colombia. Mexico won against USA earlier this week. Huge game. They're currently leading Paraguay. Canada and Brazil are already in the semifinals. Junior, your thoughts on this tournament? And we need to drop a video recapping this thing.
Biggest takeaway for me is Mexico, I think, beating America twice in their history now. I'm beating them 2-0 it's not even like it's a preseason game or a friendly game. This is a game that all teams want to win, and Mexico found a way to win. That's huge to me. Huge. Another thing, too, is Brazil has taken the opportunity to realize that Debinha is not that guy, is not that person. And she's being treated accordingly. So Brazil, I think, to me, notice that those are Canary South women. The Brazil women's team seem to have figured out their best level. Have figured out how to break the attachment on
Debinha,
which to me is great news for Brazil, for that Brazilian program.
Yeah, Yaya dominant in that midfield against Argentina. Boy, yo, them fix up Argentina last night. Proper fix up. Fix up. And don't sleep now. Brazil might win this tournament, you know. They might win this tournament because for me, with US women's team, this is more of a holding position. Of course, they would like to win the first or the inaugural Women's Gold Cup. But at the end of the day, US coach is still at Chelsea, taking Chelsea through a Women's Super League tournament.
Right.
So some of these players really are just, you know, they might try to navigate this thing under the guidance of the interim. And ultimately, I do expect Brazil to be, maybe US from the vantage point of the World Cup, they want to kind of put a stamp back on this thing to say that they are the best team. But I wouldn't be surprised with Brazil and Brazil win this thing.
I
There-
would. I
There's
would
a
be surprised.
huh?
I would be surprised.
Yeah. There's something that's strange to me about this a team in this tournament, and it's Colombia. And it's not something that just strange. It's just about a particular player. Every time I see Linda Caicedo play, I worry for Linda Caicedo. No, I worry for Linda Caicedo's well-being, and it's because of the history of the collapse. I hope the medical staff is taking care of her, and
She wouldn't be out there, Benton.
Huh?
She wouldn't be out there.
She wouldn't be out there. This is why I tell myself, but the effort sometimes, Mr. Framar, I am convinced that is not the same player. It's me I deal with, and she's a baller, but we'll see tonight against USA if she's able to make a huge contribution, because this could be a monumental win if them can eliminate the USA from this thing.
And if they will come wide open, because I still think USA's odds are favorite, even though the parity is coming to this side of the world, even though you have players that are bigger, stronger, faster. I just have a funny feeling America going to find a way for it.
Yeah, usually do. Everton, BM says Everton still regrets letting Demarai Gray leave. The man is balling in Saudi. Yo, we have Demaris agent. Yo, Demar agent. Can you ask him why did he get a red card against Canada? Because Jamaica will need him in the Nations League semi-final. All right, the Jamaican football news just wrapped up, Junior. The two-match friendlies against Trinidad and Tobago. Reggae Boys preparing for Nations League semi-final coming up. Junior, the first one ended 1-1 again. Jamaica, the first one ended 1-0 victory for Jamaica against TNT. Game 2 ended 0-0. Your thoughts on these two-match series, family?
I think BM said it earlier, and BM said, let me find BM comment. Because BM gave the dentist a bug on the week.
Dentist now, after 2 years now, no tactics.
And it's games like these why you don't have any tactics, because how many of these players are going to play in the World Cup qualifier? How many of these players are going to play in 3 weeks at the Nations League semi-final? 1, 2 at most, probably. I don't bother asking for name them because I'm not sure. That is how meaningless this game was, which let me think now that maybe they are getting paid to travel to America, to Trinidad to play them. And when I said they, I'm talking about JFF.
You know, at the end of the day, valuable minutes for players. Right. I mean, valuable minutes. I think Anglin, Joshian Anglin. I would love to see Joshian Anglin or all these players evolve or blossom into something big for this team. All right, because the elephant in the room for the Reggae Boys and coach Hamir Hallgrimsson, and staff coming into this Nations League semi-final is what to do with the midfield. Right. Remember, the game tilted on the head against Canada when the head of state, Damian Lowe, entered the midfield.
Out of desperation. Right.
So, to that end, Junior, what do? Do you say, all right, head of state, I starting you in midfield, or you go find another midfielder to do what head of state did in that midfield? And Kaim Dixon, the goal scorer, definitely has potential. He scored the winner the other day in the first game. So Junior, what do you do?
You pick your best side when the time comes. You pick your best 22 players. That's the only thing I suggested.
You know, I mean, Amari Bell picked up an injury, but ultimately this two-match series is important for both teams, because Trinidad also have a game against Canada to try get into the Gold Cup. Right. You know, and if Trinidad does beat Canada in that game, they will play Argentina in Atlanta and in that opening game. So Angus Eve and company is trying to use this opportunity to fine tune as they get ready for hopefully they can beat Canada and get into the World Cup.
Yeah.
But important game, valuable minutes, family. All right, continue Jamaican football news roundup. The real solid champion, Mr. Anderson, held a press conference on Thursday, Junior. In the press conference, and check on the stories in the Jamaican Observer. Yesterday's edition of the Observer. Anderson had some gripes, had some grumbles, still some issues around delegates. He also had some issues around, I think it was the beach soccer, the CM beach soccer and the beach football thing.
Right.
The voting date, the Congress seems to be circulating around March 17. Now, Dennis Strong did try to rebuff some of Anderson's claim at the presser. And one of the claims, Anderson said something to the effect about, let me make sure I get the correct statement. Said something to the effect about communication or written communication. Make sure we pull up the right statement. Anderson, the electoral committee made a ruling regarding the delegates and etc. Chung, the GenSec of the JFF, said there was something about no written communication. Anderson said they haven't gotten any written communication. Regarding the actual upcoming election, and JFF GenSec said they are not doing written communication or something to that effect. They're not doing written communication because information has gotten out when they have sent written communications.
Doesn't this sound strikingly similar to what happened with the Jamaica women team?
Yeah, it sounds similar, brother. We want to make sure that we get the same thing, I want to make sure. Chung says that based on the JFF constitution, 60 days period continues from announcement. In our discussion with FIFA, he says our position as the electoral committee is that the postponement has happened and disruption of the process. He said what will happen is that the electoral committee has communicated once again through me to the board meeting that they will publish the voters list 3 days before the election. One particular instance was when a board meeting notice including an attachment was sent to directors and forwarded by one director to an external party. This is a breach of confidentiality, and therefore the committee took the decision that they are not communicating anything in writing. The decision was communicated to everyone at the board meeting, so no one has an unfair advantage. No one is given information that no one else is given. The issue is information is being withheld is not the case. So Anderson is making an issue or made an issue about the JFF executive deliberately kept informed from them. Chung said they're not sending out any written Junior, talk to me, Bridget. Because this is in the Jamaica Observer. I want to cite the source. Jamaican Observer on March 2nd's article. I want to make sure we get the author's name. We're not seeing a name on the story. If I get the name of the author, I will fill you in. Junior, over to your family.
I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. As the date gets set, there's going to be more politicking going on till the end, and we'll see who wins. I mean, and that's it at the end of the day. We've seen this tactic though by Mr. Anderson, right? Remember, wasn't he the one that drove up to to the GFF
Yeah,
office
to the
and them
meeting
never
in
let him
Mobia,
in.
and he was at least his people was prevented. They weren't on the list or
Right.
something like that.
So it's the same. It's just as it's the same game, just different players on the board, right?
Yeah.
So I think it can end up that way again. I think buckle up. Next couple of weeks are going to be crazy because as like we said, as time get closer, both sides are going to get more and more desperate, and there will be no holds barred.
Yeah, just to make sure I'm abundantly clear on the info from the article, I'm going to just read the section deliberately verbatim just to make sure I don't misrepresent what is written.
I'll be right back. Maybe I hear, but I'm gonna check something real quick.
Yeah, Chung also refuted Anderson claims that information shared with and among JFF executive was being deliberately kept from him. Chung said, quote, "This issue that information is being withheld is not the case. What the Electoral Committee has said is that they are not going to commit anything in writing or communicate by providing any written thing that they get from FIFA, because one of the concerns that they have is that information that is sent in writing gets out to the public and to people who are not supposed to get it. One particular instance was when a board meeting notice, including the attachments, was sent to the directors and forwarded by one director to an external party. That is a breach of confidentiality, and therefore the committee took the decision that they are not communicating anything in writing." End quote. That decision was communicated to everyone at the board meeting. People, there you have it. I cannot believe what I just read. I read that the JFF, because of confidentiality breach, allegedly, according to Gensec Dennis Strong, is that the Electoral Committee has decided that they will not communicate anything in writing. It's just word of mouth. They'll make an announcement, and that's it. That seems just crazy to me. That seems just really crazy to me, that you have an organization where you cannot communicate things in writing. I mean, if people are leaking documents, then you should have a punishment for leaking of documents. I mean, but the fact that you have but you now communicate anything in writing, that is not a good option.
Not good business practice.
That not because anything a man say can be interpreted differently by somebody else. Not good business practice. BM says, here's the troubling fact. Damian Lowe was the one who suggested to the coach playing in midfield. Hal Gibson apparently didn't realize that Latti isn't a midfielder. Yeah, very good, very good point there from BM. Damian Lowe was the one who suggested it.
All right, but we've also seen Ian Goodison suggests that he goes into the box for the corner.
The express oneself.
But we don't hear nobody say Simboy scare coach.
All right, the JFF voting Congress on March 17 will take place in Hanover, but a venue is yet to be announced. So make we see what going on. So
4 days before the
Nations League semi-final.
Nations League semi-final.
Big days ahead, Junior. Big days ahead for the real solid action team and the JFF, Jamaica Football Federation, incumbent Mr. Michael Ricketts and his group. All right, JPL results before we go my way on. Quickly, Mullines defeated Limehall 2-1. Portmore, Montego Bay United, Mobile United was leading Portmore 1-0. 4-0 Treasure Beach getting fixed up by Tivoli. Veer on it ahead of Veer 1-0. Them games are supposed to be done by now. And Waterhouse and Mount Pleasant were 0-0. In the standings, Mount Pleasant still sitting on top of the group. Of course, they played 2 more games. Cavalier has been, they played, 2 more games ahead of Cavalier. Cavalier have some games in hand. And Lime Hall and Treasure Beach probably are get relegated based on this. Also, other Jamaican news, Jamaican under 20 Reggae Boys team made it to the next round, the final round of the tournament, CONCACAF U20 Championship. Junior, good luck. You them score some good goals.
Yeah, but like I said before, that's where Jamaican football wants to be. Play against these little sides, look good, and then you lose in the final round. So get ready for that rhetoric.
Yeah, that final round is where the big Gideon start. I mean, ultimately you expect them to get out of the group against a Bermuda, Martinique, and Grenada, and they did. So the job done. You can only play who in front of you.
Right.
All right. So we have Champions League football coming up this week. We have big EPL game next weekend. We'll do a watch along for Liverpool versus Man City. We have women's CONCACAF Gold Cup action. Sit in and enjoy this Colombia versus US game tonight at 8:15. Big football game. Big up to all listeners. Time for Goma We Yard. Long date. We did a watch along earlier for Manchester Derby. Connect with us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. We're on X at Ball Chat 1. We're also on TikTok at Ball Chat _podcast. And we're at Facebook at Ball Chat. Yo, engineer. Have a safe weekend, brother. Chat safely out the road and big up to all listeners them.